Hi everyone, Melissa here. It's that time of week again. It's Food for Thought Friday. And this week's topic is macronutrients. Now, some of you out there might be very familiar with macronutrients, but others of you might have never even heard about macronutrients. I know a lot of bodybuilders are known for carefully calculating and tracking their macronutrients, but if you're new to eating clean and if you're new to nutrition basics, this might be all Greek to you. So I'm here to break it down for you and make it simple. In essence, macronutrients, the word macro of course means large, so these are nutrients that your body needs in large amounts. These are nutrients that your body needs to consume a lot of in order to function. And this of course would be your carbs, your proteins, and your fats. These are the three things that your body really needs in a big amount in comparison to the other nutrients to be able to function properly. And in terms of calories, carbs and proteins per gram have 4 calories, whereas fats per gram have 9 calories. So of course this is why of the 3 macronutrients, fats have a tendency to cause people to gain weight because of the higher caloric value. So jumping into the specifics of our macronutrients, I want to talk about carbs first. Carbs get a bad rap. A lot of people nowadays are anti-carb and they're on these low-carb diets or the Atkins diets, and I really don't approve of that because I don't like viewing any food category in and of itself as either bad or good. It's all about understanding nutrition, understanding what these things do to your body, and making the right choices accordingly. So carbs are not to be feared. They're actually, of your 3 macronutrients, this is the one you need the most of. The USDA recommends 45 to 65% of your calories come from carbs. And the reason for this is because your body really and truly needs them. This is your body's biggest source of energy. Not only that, it's the best source of energy, the one that is most efficiently used. So this is something that you really need. Not only that, but carbohydrates in your body are broken down into glucose. Glucose is fundamental to how your body functions. It is needed for everything, from your muscles to your brain, your central nervous system, kidneys, tissues, down to your cells. Glucose is extremely important, and this is why carbohydrates are extremely important. Of course, not all carbohydrates are created equal. You might have heard about complex carbohydrates versus simple carbohydrates. I know I've touched on that topic a little bit in my video series, but simple carbohydrates are really simple sugars. You're going to find that in products that contain white sugar, and you're going to find that in a lot of fruits. They are simple sugars, whereas complex carbohydrates are ones that are harder for your body to digest, which really means that they're absorbed slower and over time, which is actually better for your body. These are the things that are going to be in brown rice, whole grain pasta, whole grain bread. So if you have to choose, a diet high in complex carbohydrates tend to be better, but I won't discount simple carbohydrates either because they do have an essential place in your diet, especially for those of us who need a quick burst of energy during long endurance runs or long workouts. Those do have their place. So neither of them are bad in and of themselves, but for most people, a diet higher in complex carbohydrates tends to be the ideal. I also want to talk about fiber. Fiber is actually a type of carbohydrate. A lot of people don't know that. They think fiber is its own thing in and of itself. It's not. It's a carbohydrate. The only thing about fiber is that it is not fully digested by the body, which sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing because this does a lot of things for your body. It actually helps clean out your GI tract and maintain healthy balance and improves your immune system function. And fiber has been known to be so helpful and so beneficial for your body. It's been known to reduce colon cancer, diabetes, obesity, high cholesterol. You definitely want a diet that is high in fiber And of course, you can find fiber in a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, and whole grain products. So that's the gist of carbohydrates. Of course, carbohydrates are going to be found in your starchy foods. Try to choose the right carbohydrates for your goals. You're going to want to be choosing things that are high in fiber. You're going to want to be choosing complex carbs, but you're also going to want to keep in mind that simple carbs do have their place depending on what your needs are. So don't avoid them entirely, especially if you're an endurance runner or if you do long cardio workouts. So they do have their place. Now, moving on to proteins. All of you bodybuilders out there, you love, 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 love your protein. I love my protein too. The USDA recommends 10 to 35% of your daily calories come from protein. If you are actively trying to build muscle, it's going to be towards the higher end of that protein range. Protein is essential to your body, and it's very needed for tissue repair, immune system function. Also has a role in putting together hormones and enzymes in your body. Also, protein in your body, when it's stored as muscle, it can be broken down for energy as well. This is another reason why, going back to carbs, carbs are so important, because your body, when it doesn't have carbs to use as energy, it will resort to your muscles being broken down to protein to use as energy. So this is why carbs are important, because protein can be a source of energy. You really want to avoid that because it will deplete your muscles, but it can be if needed. Now, the building blocks of proteins are amino acids. There's two types. There's essential and non-essential. And that doesn't mean that your body either needs them or it doesn't. Your body needs all of the amino acids. What this means is that essential amino acids are ones that your body needs directly. Your body cannot make those ones on its own. Non-essential amino acids are ones that your body can make on its own using essential amino acids. So your body still needs the non-essential amino acids. It can just create those out of the essential amino acids. So I hope that differentiation is clear. Unfortunately for you vegetarians and vegans out there, this can be difficult because animal protein sources have all of your essential amino acids, whereas plant protein sources don't. So if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, you're going to need to monitor carefully your amino acid sources to make sure you're getting all of your essential amino acids because your body does need those. So that's extremely important. Definitely a thing to consider, not only in addition to making sure you get enough protein, but that you get enough of the right sources of protein so you're getting your amino acids for your body to function properly. Of course, protein is found in all sorts of things, mainly in meats. If you're eating clean, you're going to want to try to eat leaner meats such as turkey, chicken, seafood, but any type of meat is going to have some protein in it. Also, a lot of other products such as your dairy products, cheese, cottage cheese, milk, they contain protein as well, and also beans and some vegetables have protein in them as well. Moving on to fats. I know a lot of people just have this click on in their head that fats are bad. This is one of the reasons that I really don't like it when people view something as either good or bad in and of itself, because fats are not bad. Your body needs fat. USDA recommends 20 to 35% of your calories come from fat. And the reason for that is because fat is needed. Your body actually does need it. And if you cut too much fat out of your diet, it can actually have disastrous effects on your body. Fat is actually, your brain tissue is mainly comprised of fatty tissue. Can you imagine how disastrous it would be if you didn't have enough fat in your diet? Not only that, but on a cellular level, your cellular membranes are made up of fat. What would happen if you didn't have enough fat in your diet? That would not be good. It's also used to help absorb vitamins. These are important things. Fat in your body is a source of concentrated energy. This is why cardio activity over time is going to help you shed fat, because that is eventually going to be used as energy to fuel your cardio, which is what causes fat loss. But your body needs fat, so don't shun it, don't avoid it, don't eliminate it from your diet completely. You just want to make sure that you're getting your fats from the right sources. So moving on, I want to talk to you about the types of fats. There's three main types: saturated, unsaturated, and trans fats. Saturated and unsaturated, the differentiation is really a molecular one. Saturated fats, the molecular bonds are saturated with other molecules. That probably doesn't mean anything to you, but what it means is that these tend to be your more solid fats. They're going to be your butter, your lard. These are things that are solid. A lot of your red meat, those have saturated fats in them. Whereas unsaturated fats, those bonds are not saturated with another molecule. These tend to be your more liquid fats, your olive oil, sunflower oil, peanut oil, things like those. Really, if you have to choose between the two, you definitely want to go for unsaturated fats. They're better for your body. Saturated fats really are not so good for you. They increase your bad cholesterol. They lower your good cholesterol. Unsaturated fats, of course, do the opposite, so you really want to choose those. They're good for your heart health, good for your cholesterol, so unsaturated fats in your diet are really ideal and are really going to help you. So don't avoid unsaturated fats. Just try to eliminate and avoid the saturated fats from your diet. In terms of trans fats tend to be chemically altered in some way. These are things that you really don't want to consume. They're contained in a lot of junky type foods, baked goods, fried foods, margarine, things like that, really processed things. This is why you want to avoid trans fats. They're not good for you, and they have the same effect on your body as saturated fats. They're going to increase your bad cholesterol, and they're going to lower your good cholesterol. So avoid trans fats, avoid saturated fats, opt for unsaturated fats. And you can find those in things like avocado, fatty fishes such as mackerel, salmon, your good types of oils, olive oil, canola oil, sunflower oil. So choose those, make the right choices, don't eliminate fats completely and don't view them as bad. You just want to make the right choices and the best choices for your body. So in summing up, carbs 45 to 65%, proteins 10 to 35%, and fat 20 to 35% of your total daily calories. That's what your goal is. I'm not going to post anything specific about how to calculate your average or your recommended caloric intake. It's really complicated. There are so many tools available online to help you do this that what I am going to do is I'm going to post some of these websites where you can calculate this and have it all done for you. It is really difficult to sit down and do the math to figure out how many calories you should be consuming per day, and there's so many websites out there that have broken it down for you and made it simple. So I am going to post a few of those for you so you can do that. I don't recommend counting every calorie and keeping track of every little thing. The goal here is to have clean eating be a lifestyle. And to have it be a lifestyle, it has to be something that you can maintain and do regularly. Counting every little calorie isn't maintainable. People aren't going to do that because it's just too difficult, too cumbersome. So I want to make this something that you guys can realistically do and realistically incorporate into your daily life. And counting calories isn't it. So I do want you to go and calculate how many calories you should be having so you have a rough idea. But don't adhere to it that you need to count every little calorie, every little single thing that you eat. Just have a rough idea. And my belief is that as long as you are choosing clean foods, that you're going to fall within around that average range, and you're going to be eating healthier and your goals are going to be met. But it's good to have a rough idea. Just don't adhere to it too strictly because you're going to burn yourself out, and that's just not maintainable for long term. Same with macronutrients. This is why I wanted to go over this with you, because it's good to have a rough idea of how much you should be consuming, but for most of us out there, counting every little macro isn't realistic. If you are a bodybuilder or an athlete, then this is something that you might need to do to meet your goals. But for an average person that wants to eat clean and be healthier and be better, that's not realistic, and it's not something that you need to do in order to eat clean or be healthier. It's just good to have the general knowledge to begin with. So I hope this was informative for you guys. I hope you guys learned a lot about macronutrients and about basic nutrition. And I hope that you'll all join me next week for my next Food for Thought segment. Bye guys, I'm off for my morning run.